Hey, hi everybody. So today we're going to basically be getting back into reviewing some beginning Photoshop. And first of all, I just want to review a few panels and toolbars. This right here is the layer panel. This is your history panel. This is your options bar. And this right here is your tool panel. And up top where it says Photoshop in bold and has all your menu options, this is your menu bar. Now, if any time you are missing any of these panels, you can always find them under Window, and the little check marks indicate which ones you currently have open. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to create a spill coming out of this bottle. So the first thing, the most important part of this is that we're going to create a new layer. I'm going to teach you two ways to do it. If you see it here in your layer panel, we only have the background layer as of now, so we're going to make a new layer. The long way and the first way to do it is layer, new layer, layer, new layer, and then we're going to name it spill, and you just click OK. And now you can see it right here. But let me show you the other way as well, just in case. I'm going to back up and show you the other way. There's a little, next to the teeny tiny trash can at the bottom of the layer panel, there's a little square with a plus inside of it. If you click on that and then double click very quickly where it says layer 1, you can rename that, make a new layer and rename it spill. So make sure that you create a new layer and name it spill, S-P-I-L-L. So now we have our background layer and our spill layer, and by default you should have the spill layer selected right now. Again, it's very important that you do all of our next steps on the spill layer, or your whole project will be messed up. Okay, so we're on our spill layer. Now we're going to use our brush tool. The shortcut for the brush tool is B as in boy. If you hit B on your keyboard, it will automatically select the brush tool for you. Also, remember, if you are ever unsure about what tool is what, you can simply hover over top of it. It will tell you the name of the tool, and it will give you a little preview of what the tool is used for. So we're going to select our brush tool, and then we're going to pop up here to our options bar, and we're going to put our hardness at 100 and our size on, I'm going to start with 60. You can adjust it as you go. Now the hardness has to do with the edge of our brush. It's going to give us a nice crisp edge, kind of like a paintbrush edge if we have our hardness at 100. If we had our hardness at 0, which you're going to see in a little bit, it gives you a soft edge that looks more like spray paint. So after you have your brush size selected, whoops, got a little ahead of myself. Let me just back up. Now we're going to select our color. Now for this, we're going to be creating a spill. We're all going to be using a mid-tone gray. So down here where our foreground color is, you're going to click and we're going to select a mid-tone gray, not too dark, not too light, and then click OK. You will see the color previewed down here in your foreground color and also up here in your color swatches. And now we're going to, on our spill layer, we're going to go ahead and we're going to paint ourselves a spill. Everybody's is going to be a little different. You can be creative. You want it to look like it's coming out of the jar. It should look realistic when we're done. Okay, so when you are finished painting, now we're going to shade it, and we're going to be learning two new tools to shade with. The first tool we're going to be using looks like a little lollipop. It might be hiding underneath the dodge tool or the sponge tool, but it is approximately a little bit past the center of your toolbar. And if you go ahead, it looks like a little lollipop. It's called the dodge tool. Now with the dodge tool selected, I'm going to go with 70 for my size, and this time we're going to put the hardness on 0, which is going to give us a soft fuzzy edge. And then you're going to just go ahead and add some shading to this. This is really not my strong suit. You don't want to cover the whole thing, but if you notice, the more you go over areas, the darker, the brighter it becomes, because the dodge tool is meant to lighten. This is actually, if you ever take a darkroom photography class, this is something that happens in the darkroom. Dodge. And the next one we're going to do, burn, is also something that is done in the darkroom. Okay, so after you're done shading with the dodge tool, which lightens, you're going to switch to the tool hiding under that. And remember, all the tools that have the little triangles in the corner have tools hiding underneath. So you're going to click and hold down to expose what's underneath, and you're going to select the burn tool. Now with the burn tool darkens. Again, the more you go over it, the darker it becomes. So you're just going to add a little dark shading here. Okay, and when you're finished, we're going to be changing our blending mode. Now our blending mode, this is something very important. A lot of projects that we do, you will have to change the blending mode numerous times. This is always something you have to know for the Photoshop certification test. So we're on our spill layer in the layer panel, and right above our layers there is a menu that says normal right here. This is our layer blending mode, and we're going to change it to hard light. When you scroll through, you'll notice that all of these change the lighting situation or the blending situation, but we're all going to do hard light. When you get to hard light, you might be concerned because your spill nearly disappears, but don't worry, it won't for long. So make sure you've chosen hard light. It will then show hard light right here. And now our next step, we're going to add some color. So we're going to go up to our top menu up top, and we're going to do image, adjustments, hue, saturation. So when we pull up hue saturation, it's going to give us our hue saturation dialog box. You can move it around if you'd like. Now, very important, at the bottom right corner, there's a little box that says colorize. You want to click it. When you click it, it should add some color to your spill, and then you can drag your hue, saturation, and lightness sliders until whatever color, however you like it best. You want it to look nice and convincing as a spill. So once you are satisfied with your color selection, you can go ahead and click OK. And now our spill looks pretty good, pretty convincing. So we're going to flatten it, save it, and turn it in. So anytime you have more than one layer and you're finished with a project, you're going to flatten it, and essentially that will squish your layers together into one background layer, and it will reduce the file size. So in order to do that, we're going to go to Layer, Flatten Image. You will see that when we do that right here, it merges your spill together all as one background. And then it also, if you look in your bottom left corner, it has reduced the file size. Next step is saving. You're going to go up to your file menu, File, Save As, save on your computer. You're going to name it Spill. It should already be named that. Where do you want to save it? In your downloads, documents, or desktop. Make sure it's one of the 3 Ds. You're going to do save as a copy, save a copy, and then you're going to select, after you do save a copy, you're going to select JPEG. Now mine's a little different than yours, but you make sure you do this when you click. There's a little button that says save a copy, and then after it refreshes, you'll be able to select JPEG, and then go ahead and click save and OK. And now at this point, you can go ahead and turn it in for credit.